Welcome, beautiful souls. Oh, it's so good to be with you. This is the Live Lounge coming to you from Sarasota. I'm Caroline Crawford.
And I'm Paul Crawford.
And the beautiful Christina Althaea, our master herbalist, will be joining us shortly from Arcadia. Hi, Christine. It's so good to see you there. I know that you won't be long before you join us. So we're so excited about this month's show because I think it's something that everybody needs in these times, but not just these times. You know, at any time, things in our lives can change. Our health can change, family circumstances, work, all sorts of things. So it's really important that we take that time to self-heal and do some self-nurturing, because to keep our strength and our immunity up is so important at all times, as I said. So the self-healing techniques we're going to be sharing with you, we're aiming to help you reduce stress, feel calm, feel chilled out. Also, you know, it might be that you need a bit more energy, because you find that it goes hand in hand. When we're stressed or anxious, we can feel quite tired. Or on the other end of the spectrum, people might feel very hyper and they can't relax and they can't sleep. So I'm sure you'll find something in these techniques, this variety of techniques, that we are really happy to be sharing with you. So we feel really honored that you're with us. Sit back, relax, enjoy. And Paul is going to begin with, well, we're going to talk a little bit just generally about healing. And then Paul's got a great exercise, which we've actually done a few times, that he will be sharing with you. So over to Paul.
Well, I think really for me, one of the key things in well-being, self-well-being, is reducing stress. I mean, stress is one of the key contributors to ill health on every level, physically, mentally, emotionally.
And spiritually.
So the more that you can actually reduce your stress levels, it's going to actually bring about a great upliftment to you. And we will talk about some techniques that you can use to do that, as we have done in other weeks as well. Also, alongside that as well, drinking plenty of water. Now, you've always talked about this.
I mean, I've always drank lots of water because I think it's so important, you know, for our skin, for our internal organs, and for our energy. And even more so since we've lived, Paul, with laughing. Our last thing before we go out anywhere is, have we got the water?
Have you done the drinks?
Because, because we always make sure we have our big sort of insulated tumblers of water. And if we're going out for the day, we often take two
along with us.
So we know that water's filtered.
And keep yourself hydrated. And then also getting as much sleep as you can. They recommend 7 to 8 hours is really good, but you know, you got to work on yourself. You like a bit more than that.
I do. I joke with friends about this for a lot of years. I can't function properly if I haven't had a good 8-9 hours sleep. Honestly, I've just mentally, I'm just not right, and I need to be clear-headed and clear-minded.
Yeah,
but whereas you can manage on less.
I can go with less sleep than that. But I still am aware of how I'm feeling when I haven't had sufficient sleep. I can really feel it in how I feel and how I look as well. But
there are times when our stress levels can affect our sleep. You know, I know a lot of people suffer with disturbed sleep. So hopefully we're going to give you some techniques to really help with that as well.
And it all goes hand in hand. And then obviously having a well-balanced diet, having more vegetables, not having too many sugary things, just keeping that balance between what you like, but also what's healthy and good for you. And not overeating, which we can often do, and sneak to those heavy sugary substances.
I think when we're stressed, that's a sign. I know if I've been a bit stressed, because you know, I kind of sometimes like to be in a bit of denial. No, I'm fine. I'm always positive. But truth of the matter is, I'm human. And this is the physical planet Earth. And now we are all going to suffer at times with stress and varying degrees of that. But I know if I'm eating too many carbs, I know that there's something I need to address, that you know, or I wouldn't normally be reaching for the carbs, you know, for those pastries, for those,
and
those
then
cookies.
you know, and then the final thing for me really is being positive, keeping a positive frame of mind, a positive energy about yourself, and that keeps you really buoyant in so many situations.
It does.
So they're really the sort of 5 key things, but it's just being aware of how you are within yourself.
It is. So Paul's going to share this exercise with us now, a kind of mental exercise that we've both used, and we were reminded of it just a few weeks ago by Paul's team, who he channels, Durama. So it's really nice that we've very recently carried out this exercise to really remind ourselves. So Paul's going to share with you some of the ins and outs of this technique. And we actually
carried it out just by chance before we decided that self, healing was going to be the topic for tonight's show. And it's called the 7-day mental diet. And this was written many years ago by a gentleman called Emmett Fox. And it's all about being mindful of not having or holding on to negative thoughts, and definitely not speaking them. But you're doing it, as the title says, for 7 days. That's 7 consecutive days. So everyday life will create that we have negative thoughts within us. So I think the key thing to that is it's not holding on to those negative thoughts. It's rather than having the negative thought, it's replacing it with something more positive. And then it's being extremely mindful if a negative thought does come in that you don't say it. Because as soon as you say it, or you've dwelled too long, if you've gone down that road of negativity, you've got to be really honest with yourself, and you've got to start the whole process again.
But isn't that only if you say it?
No, and if you've dwelled on the negative thought for a long period of time.
How long?
Because, well, I think only you can be the judge of that.
2 minutes.
Yeah, you really want to. If a negative thought comes in, it wants to be like a cloud. Just let it drift on by, so you don't pay any attention to it. So you're not giving energy to it.
You're not attaching it.
You're not attaching to it.
Okay.
And people have said about, well, yeah, but what about if I meet people that are really negative and they're moaning and everything else? Well, you don't have to. Sometimes you might want to avoid them, but if you can't avoid them, or you choose not to, don't agree with them. If they're complaining about something, don't agree with them. Don't shut them down. Just don't agree with them. Don't interact in the same terms as them. It might be that they turn around and they might just say, I don't know, oh, what's that person wearing? What do they look like? And rather than saying, oh, yeah, God, yeah, I don't like that, change it to say something like, God, they look really happy. I wonder where they're going. Look like they're going out somewhere to have some fun. Or so you're, rather than agreeing with them, you're putting a more positive sort of focus onto it. And as I say, and it might be that you're 3, 4, 5 days or more into the process, and something happens, and you get into that downward spiral. You start again. It has to be 7. Yeah, it has to be 7 positive days, 7 continuous days of this exercise, and you'll be surprised at the difference it starts to make, because the more you start looking and paying attention to what you're thinking, the more you actually become aware of it. And the sooner you'll catch yourself if you have a negative thought.
When we did it, I felt it was really like training your mind. And this last time we did it, I have to say, we were quite good.
Yeah.
But there have been times when we weren't quite as good. But and I think using your humour as well, not getting cross with yourself if got to go back to day one.
They do say, I mean, Emmett said about not telling anybody. I mean, we agreed to do it together, and sometimes, particularly if it's your first time you're doing it, you might have a close friend that you confide in. But other than that, don't tell anybody else, because you really want to interact with people in an everyday way, so that you're mastering your thoughts in those everyday environment, so that when you're beyond that 7-day period, you actually you know that you can deal with those things in that everyday environment.
Yeah, in a more
but
positive way.
Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Stick to replacing and not dwelling on negative thoughts, replacing it with something good. And if you do, start again, but don't be critical of yourself. Don't be critical of anybody else. People have said, well, you know, what constitutes a negative thought? Complaining, criticism, disappointment, focusing on failure. But you know, but don't put yourself under pressure. You know, have a bit of fun with it. But sometimes, I will tell you this, it can trigger something happening, a real event that sort of tests your resolve on it.
Oh, so, glad that didn't happen to me.
Well, it happened to me when I've done it previously some years ago. But you know, it's well worth it. You know, keep doing it, and you're building new habits, the habit of being positive, and that will only bring about a real upliftment, and it will open your life and change your life in positive ways.
Yeah, and you feel so much happier when you're focusing on the positives and the optimistic, because there's always two sides to everything, isn't there?
Yeah, there always is.
And I think choosing the positive it's almost like we're honouring ourselves, keeping in that nice flow of energy as best we can. And none of us are angels, but yeah, we can just keep that up. So,
you know, we're in a physical life, you know, but it's about just maintaining that positivity within ourselves.
So 7 days.
Yep, 7 days.
Oh, what about, would you say, Paul, how about preparing for it? Don't just think, right, I'm going to start that tomorrow. Would you say you give yourself a little bit of prep?
You've got to commit to it, but give yourself time to get ready for it. And I would say that if you knew you had within the next week a big event coming up, maybe now wouldn't be the right time to start. So get that out the way and then commit. If you haven't, then, you know, there's no time like the present. But, you know, once you've decided you're going to do it, commit to it and be honest with yourself when you're doing it as well.
No cheating.
Yeah, you'll get the most out of it.
Yeah. So, great. Is that it, my darling?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so Christina Althaea, our master herbalist, my beautiful soul sister over there in Arcadia. She's going to introduce her techniques and tips now, and I'm going to go last today for a change. So Christine's going to be talking to us, I think, about some breathing techniques, some earthing, and some wonderful bathing techniques, which are great, and a lot more. So can you hear us, Christine?
Absolutely. Can you hear me?
We can't hear you. Just a minute.
I've got the sound.
Oh, no.
Okay. Can everybody
else hear me?
Yes. Can everybody else hear?
Okay, good.
Thumbs up.
Good, because I wouldn't know how to fix it if it wasn't working.
Oh. Hi, Christine. How are you doing?
Doing great.
Good.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yes.
Do you know what? I wanted something green, but I hadn't got anything suitable. It was a little bit flimsy. So yes, happy St. Patrick's Day.
So anyway, I wanted just to talk about just some simple things today. I know we can get involved in depth in certain rituals and in certain, you know, regimes of ways to take care of ourselves and do self-healing. And, you know, it's nice sometimes just to have a simple tool that you can pull out on a moment's notice. And I myself have done meditation and breath work and all of that. But something that I have found, because sometimes I'm just so busy, and even though I could do just a 5-minute meditation, even that sometimes is overwhelming and I'll tend to skip it. And what I found is, I'm going to tell you all something that I actually do. I actually set the alarm on my phone twice a day for 11:11 a.m., just because that's good luck, and then 3:33 p.m. That's just my times that I picked for me. So nothing special necessarily to you. You pick your own times. And what I tell myself is, because I get so busy at work and I'm running and I'm this and I'm multitasking and so much is going on. And whenever that alarm goes off, even if I'm in the middle of the busiest thing, I'm at work and I'm answering an email or whatever, I am at my desk. I will literally, I'm on my chair with the little wheels, right? The little rollies on the bottom, and I'll just push away from my desk. And I put my hands on my legs and I just do 3 to 5 breaths. No special kinds of breath, no special kind of breath work, no kind of, yoga breathing, anything, just breathing and pay attention to the breath. And I will just sit there and I will do 3 to 5 really slow, literally takes 1 to 2 minutes. Try it. You will be amazed what 2 minutes twice a day can do for your life, to calm you, to center you, to ground you, and to bring you back to your body and to your center. So that's my first soul tip. My second tip is, I don't know if you all know this, but literally most people, and some studies say up to 90% of all of humanity, not just Americans, not just women, not just a certain profession, but all humans, 90% of us are deficient in magnesium.
Wow.
Did you know that?
That's a huge number, isn't it? That's
all right. So when it comes to stress, it's huge. So when it comes to stress and anxiety, and when it comes to your muscles getting tight and our physical body health and all those things, and magnesium is such an easy thing to get. And I'm going to tell you really quickly how I do it, but I just wanted to explain that part of the reason many of us are magnesium deficient is, first of all, we know our soil is depleted. So if we eat lots of fruits and vegetables, and most of us probably don't eat enough, right? Because it's greens that are most important and give you the most nutritious. So they're grown in deficient soil. So we're missing that magnesium that way. And I don't know if you knew this, I just recently found out that fluoride and chlorine, which are in like city water, those actually bind to magnesium. And they keep it from getting in, and then it doesn't get assimilated in your body.
Yeah.
So even your city water is something that can prevent you from getting magnesium. And also if you drink a lot of coffee or eat a lot of sugar, that also impairs the absorption of magnesium. And then stress itself actually depletes your magnesium. So I will tell you very briefly, I learned this from a naturopathic doctor. She actually told me that, yes, you can take magnesium supplements. Have you tried those? Man, those pills are big. And you usually have to take 2 of them, and they hurt my throat. If you take an Epsom salt bath, I used to think that that was just like good for your body, like good for your muscles, but your body, you get a much higher absorption rate of magnesium by either taking a bath with 2 to 4 cups of Epsom salts, or taking even just a foot bath in 1 cup of Epsom salts, and just sitting there like 20 minutes, just sit there for 20 minutes and let it absorb into your skin. And it absorbs so much more magnesium than if you took it by capsules. And so magnesium will help all those anxiety, it will help your tight muscles and make you peaceful. So that's your second tip today. And then tip number 3 is, I'm sure many of you have heard the term grounding, but I'm not sure if you've heard the term earthing. It's a form of grounding. And basically all it is going outside in your bare feet and walking in the grass and on the dirt. Preferably that. I think you can get some benefits even from walking outside on some concrete or wood or something like that, but it's particularly really beneficial if you can get your feet on the grass. Some people say you need to do it for at least 30 minutes, but not everyone has 30 minutes to go grokking in the grass. And I know for the fact that we're in spring, this is a good time to tell you, because for those of us that don't live in Florida, it might not be warm enough to walk in the grass yet. Hopefully by April or May, you'll be able to get out there and you just kind of get, even if you didn't rub your feet, I think it feels really good to kind of scuff my feet around outside. But what happens is, have any of you ever gotten a static electricity shock?
Yeah.
When you touch a door handle when it's really dry, that has to do with the electrons in your body, an imbalance of positive and negative. Well, that's what grounding helps you with. You can help ground yourself and get rid of those imbalances by touching something that's metal, but that's very unpleasant. And it usually only happens in dry climates. But a way to do it that's comfortable and nurturing and loving and healing is to get yourself off walking with your bare feet out in the grass and out in the dirt. It helps balance your electrons. It helps you sleep better. It helps relax your muscles. It actually, even the studies have found it reduces inflammation in your body.
Wow.
And we all know that all different kinds of inflammation, from either allergies or stress or any other imbalances in our inflammation, is the #1 cause of aging and disease. It's all based on inflammation. So if grounding, earthing, 30 minutes or even 15 minutes a day is going to help reduce that, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So there you go. Those are your 3 tips for this month.
Wonderful.
To breathe, simple breathing, simple bath, and do some earthing outside in the wonderful dirt.
That is 3 really great techniques and tips, Christine. Thank you. Yeah, and I think
all really easy to do.
Yeah, and one way or another, I'm sure that, you know, our viewers can integrate one or more of those, because I think that's the important thing, that to be consistent, isn't it? Not just doing something that we're going to be offering you when you're really stressed, because you might already be up there. But if we can practice these things on a consistent basis, then, you know, it just enables us to get that calmer energy and that better flow much more quickly, doesn't it? To return back rather than, you know, going from our center up here. If we just keep that consistency going, that's really helpful.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Well, I think that is true. You know, it is with everything, being consistent with it, and then creating those more positive habits of breathing, taking time out throughout the day, just as you say. And it's not a special type of breath, it's just breathing. My watch is constantly telling me to breathe or to stand up.
Yeah.
So
I don't know whether that's a good thing.
well, not necessarily.
Not stressful.
Yeah. Sometimes I think to myself, oh, look, I've just been standing for the last hour.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, Christine.
Yeah. Thank you, darling. Sure, we'll all be practicing that. Actually, I'll let you do a little bit. I had an Epsom salt bath just yesterday, and I regularly practice breathing, as you all know. But my technique I'm going to be sharing with you is hands-on healing. I'm going to use a really simple technique because, you know, it isn't just people that are trained and qualified that can be healers. We all have that inherent, innate ability to draw upon and use this energy. Now, this energy in yoga, it's called prana. It's the energy of the universe. It's the energy of creation. It's omnipresent. So this energy is everywhere. And we can draw on that energy and tap into that energy, particularly through using the breath, visualization techniques, and of course, one of my favorite things, intention. So this healing, it will reduce stress, it aids relaxation, it also helps your mood and your emotional well-being, physically, as Paul said earlier, on every level, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And a lot of people say that have had healing, they felt much lighter, they had clarity, they felt more connected, much more calm and more intuitive and creative. So it's something we can use really right across the board, and just trust that this energy knows, because it is of infinite intelligence, it knows what your body needs. As I said earlier, we just have to tap into it consistently. So I'm going to talk you through a technique. I'm only going to do a short technique. And obviously, if you were using this regularly at home, you might like to try it for 10 or 15 minutes if you can. And I'm going to do it, obviously, sitting here with you all. And I'm hoping you're going to join me. But you can do it. I do it most nights. And if I wake up early in the morning, I will use it then as well. So it's quite nice laying in bed, and sometimes you can get really deep effects. So Paul's just going to be a little model for me, and he's just going, I'm going to talk you through what we're going to do. So we're going to use the breath. So we're going to slow the breathing down a bit while we carry this exercise out. we're going to visualize. So we're going to imagine a lovely big golden ball of light above our head that we're going to stream down the body. And we're going to use the hands. So we're going to start, I'm just going to show you the position so you don't have to keep being interrupted, but I will talk you through the whole process. I'm going to take about 5 minutes, but I'm just going to ask Paul to show you, which makes me laugh, the position. So the first hand position will be at the base of the skull and on the forehead. Now you can either rest the hands on the body, or it's okay if it's light, or if it's just outside, just off the body, that's fine. So we'll hold that position for a few breaths. I'll talk you through it. Position number 2 is over the eyes. This is really soothing, this one. It's really nice. It's a great one to do. And then position number 3 will be the throat center and the heart. So again, we'll hold that. We're going to imagine breathing that light in and out through the hands, which I'll talk you through, so don't worry. And then the 4th position will be solar plexus and the lower abdomen. And then to finish, we'll just lay the hands over the groin.
Yeah, which you probably can't see because of the camera angle.
Yeah, but we all know where the lower abdomen and the groin is. So what I'd like you to do, I'd like you to just think about your intention of going to receive some lovely healing energy. You're going to give yourself that gift of healing. So I'd like you to then, before we actually put the hands in position, just softly close your eyes, slow your breath down, try to breathe to the abdomen, because remember, the breath contains that energy. That's how we draw that energy into the body. And then I'd like you to imagine or visualize, if you can't see it, it doesn't matter, just know it's there, a big ball of energy above your head, a lovely pulsating light. It doesn't matter what color it is, whatever comes to your mind, but you've got that lovely ball of energy, of healing energy above your head. So then we're just going to say a little invocation. I ask the universe for healing energy to flow where my mind and body need it now. And now, as you're slowing that breath down, keep your shoulders as relaxed as you can. Just move your hands into that first position. So one at the base of your skull and one on the forehead. Imagine that ball of light above your head. And then you're going to breathe that light in through the top of your head to your heart center. Hold for a second. And then imagine that light, send it down your arms and flowing out through the palms of your hand. So breathe in that light in through the head to your heart center. Pause for a second. Visualize, feel that light going down your arms, out through the palms, filling your head with that calming, healing energy. Let's do that for 2 more nice, smooth, rhythmic breaths. So that healing light is filling your mind and body. Good. And then nice and smoothly, take a breath in and change to position 2, bringing both hands over the eyes. You can drop your head a little bit forwards. So breathing that light in through the head to the heart, sending it down the arms and out through your palms. You may naturally find that you deepen your breath anyway, because you're remembering that you are light, that you are energy, and that you can draw on that source at any time. So feel that lovely energy, soothing the eyes, soothing your body, soothing your thoughts. One more breath and we'll change nice and smoothly to position number 3, where one hand comes over the throat center and the other over the heart. So again, breathing into your heart. Feel that light going down your arms and out through your palms. Now you may become aware of any changes in temperature, any tingling in the hands, just feeling more relaxed. Just be aware of how you're feeling as you continue to have those nice breaths, breathing in that life force energy. And we are working over the major energy centers of the body where that life force animates us. It's moving away any stagnant energy that needs to be cleansed and refreshed. So 2 more breaths in this position. And then when you're ready, gently moving the hands to the solar plexus and one on the lower abdomen. So you're over the solar plexus and the sacral center now, emotional centers, mental centers. Breathe that energy in. Feel those shoulders are relaxed. Know that energy is cleansing, nourishing, empowering and aligning you. Cleansing, nourishing, empowering and aligning you. You can see some nice yawning going on there. That's a good sign that you're relaxing, releasing tension. Feel that energy, filling, going all the way through to your back. Soothing and healing. And then the last position, have one more breath there if you'd like. Just place both hands on the groin, visualize that light going through your hands, through that root chakra, filling all the blood system, your bones, down the legs it flows. You might like to imagine that flowing out through the soles of your feet, cleansing, nourishing, empowering and aligning you. Become aware now of that light shimmering and glowing all around you as you are now enveloped in that beautiful light from above your head, down the body, down below the soles of your feet. Feel that you're resonating with that light, that healing energy now. Two or three more breaths. Beautiful energy. So before we gently come back, just give thanks to the universe for that energy. Be aware of that inner connection, how you feel now, physically, emotionally, even mentally. And be aware of the quality of your sleep later on, or at any time you carry out this exercise. Be aware of how you feel for those several hours afterwards. And it's like anything, as we do this regularly, we build up that energy, we increase that energy, we become a greater part of it. And it then helps accelerate our own body's healing energies, helps us feel more relaxed, more peaceful, more energized, and much more creative and intuitive, in tune with ourselves, much calmer. So I can only sort of have a thumbs up. Is everybody, how did everybody feel? Did you enjoy that? Could you give us a thumbs up if you felt the energy? Good. Do you feel more relaxed? Yeah. Fantastic. So I hope that that's something you know, you may want to research that more, look into it more. I know we've got some healers watching. I know, you know, I've got some people there that have actually attuned to Reiki energy. Paul and I are both Reiki masters. We use spiritual healing, energetic healing, Reiki healing. And it's also, you can send that to your loved ones. You can just visualize them as you did with that light going through them. You're not putting anything on them they don't want. You're just asking that they receive any healing, any strength, any soothing that they need. It's a beautiful thing to do. And if you want to look into it more, you know, I fully recommend healing courses, you know, both here in America. In fact, we did another course here, but, you know, it's great for animals as well to soothe, and they're very responsive to healing energies.
Really responsive.
Yeah. So always say a little prayer or invocation to activate the energy. Slow your breathing down, make sure you're in a nice quiet place. Really see it as your sacred time. It's just so lovely, because we're all going to experience stress in life, you know, and different degrees of it. But using that energy and these techniques, I think, you know, we've really integrated them as part of our life. There's barely a day goes by that I don't use self-healing, and I've got friends that we send each other healing. And it's also very important, I'm just going to remember to say this, away from healing, well, it's still healing, but always remember to tell your friends and family how much you love them, because that's a really beautiful thing to share and to do. I love it when a friend sends me a text and says, I love you. And it's so important, isn't it, that we make that deeper connection with each other. And this is what brings us a lot more fulfillment, and we feel much happier in life. So remember to tell someone you love them. Think about doing that tomorrow. But any of these techniques you can use.
I think it's being, you know, consistent with it.
It is.
Yeah, and just allowing yourself. And also sometimes it's time for you.
Yeah. And I would say schedule your healing time. You might want to schedule it, you know, every evening, or at least 2 or 3 times a week on a set. Because I find if I say to myself, right, I'm going to have a Epsom salt bath that day, or I'm going to go out and do that this day, I do it. So schedule it in your diary, on your calendars, and really honor yourself, because the better you feel, the better life gets. The happier we are, the more we raise our vibration, our frequency, the better things happen in our lives, the healthier we are, you know, and we just feel a greater joy in life. So I really hope you've enjoyed that. So you on the YouTube watchers that watch it on the recording, we love your feedback. We had lots of feedback on the sage, on the space clearing, on the essential oils,
and it
really helps us. We really enjoy getting your feedback. So,
but it also helps with the algorithms on YouTube as well. The more comments people make, I don't know how it works, but it does.
Yeah.
But we love interacting and seeing what you're getting out of what we're giving to you.
Yeah, we put a lot of research and thoughts into this. So it's really nice to continue to get your feedback on YouTube, put your comments, you know, leave a little feedback. And it also gets it out to more people. It helps us spread the word to more people to make a more healing, lovely life for everyone.
A more positive planet.
Yeah. So that's the end of the show, just about. Thank you so much for joining us. I almost feel I want to interact with you more, but thank you for joining us. It really means the world to us that we get this time to share with you. I've said this before, but we do feel your energy. And we love that we're building this little community online with you. So keep those comments coming. Have a beautiful month. I'll say it again, but I can't believe the next show is April. Where did this year go? And I know our family and friends in the UK are really looking forward to April, because April the 12th, I remember that date because it's one of my sister's birthdays. They're actually starting to come out of lockdown. So bless your hearts, you know, enjoy looking forward to that. And we send you all our love.
But, the next show is April the 21st.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wednesday, April the 21st. So yeah, share with your friends, get those comments down, and, you know, send us that feedback, because that is beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you everybody for joining us. We really do appreciate it, and we also appreciate all the support that's through the donations that are coming through to us as well. So thank you for that. So keep it coming, keep watching. More importantly, keep being yourself and shining your light.
Yeah, shine your light. Yeah, so keep shining. So from our hearts to yours, sending you all our love, all across there to Australia, all around America, all around the UK and Europe. We love you so, so much. So take care, have a beautiful week, keep shining, as Paul said, and we'll see you next time on the Live Lounge.
On the Live Lounge show. Until then,
Bye for now.
Bye, everybody.